Hello everyone, my name is Zach Waddington. This is my video I filmed a week early of what I read in January, and I wanted to film it a little bit early because I didn't know if I would have had time later on to film it, so I just wanted to get it out so I can edit it within the week and not rush. So I finished, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I finished 8 books this month. 2 of them, I think, are ones that I started in December, but still pretty good. And I'm currently reading 2 more books. I think I'll finish one this weekend. So this is the last, this is the last proper weekend of the month. I think it's only the 31st, which is on Saturday. And then I've got a week to read the other one, and I think I'll be fine to do that. So yeah, welcome to what I read in January. The first book is called The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is a Japanese translated book, and it also was shortlisted for the 2020 International Booker Prize. I've read this book before, I think in like 2022, I'm not too sure, but really loved it. It was a 5-star read then, but I'm not a rereader, but I really wanted to just like start off with a book that I knew was going to be good, but it didn't get 5 stars this time, it got 4 stars, but it was still really good. It's like a thriller dystopian world where the memory police are literally like taking people's memories. So say if like chairs would disappear and everyone would forget what a chair is, so they wouldn't feel like they missed having chairs around, but then all the chairs would have to be discarded, and then it gets kind of worse and worse. I don't want to spoil it, but I wanted to give a bit of a review, you know. Honestly, just like haunting, like really beautiful as well. It has a lot of like scenes in the snow. It's very wintry, so it was really nice to read starting last year in December, and then finishing I think on the 1st or the 2nd of 2026 January. The next book I read was called The Beginner's Guide to the Roots of Yoga by Nikita Desai, who is a British Indian woman of Indian descent. Really cool. I really like yoga, but I always get out of it when it's cold. I feel like I'm a little bear and I like to hibernate. But it was really nice to come back into like the practice, and I've done a few yoga sessions, like practical sessions this month as well, so it was nice to read alongside this. I finished this book on the 5th of January, and I know that I started it in December, but I'm not too sure when. Halfway through, like the 15th or something. Really good book, really easy to understand, but there was a lot of information in it, so I gave it a 3.5 stars because yes, it was cozy to read, it was easy to read, but because of so much information, I felt like I couldn't possibly hold it all in my head. But she's also really good at the beginning of this book at saying that you might not understand everything and you might not hold everything in your brain, but what is good is that I can go back to this and read a passage and then put it into my yoga practice if I choose to do that. So yeah, I really recommend this book if you want to do more yoga. Okay, this is another book that I gave 3.5 stars, and it's called She Speaks, What Shakespeare's Women Might Have Read by Harriet Walker, who's a white woman who is also an actor. And it was really good. I just think I needed to get back into poetry a little bit, and because I read it so quickly, I think that's why it didn't reach 4 or 5 stars. But I really enjoyed lots of the poetry bits, and I starred some of them because they were really interesting to read. So this is from Cressida, so I don't know how to say his name, Troilus and Cressida. And it's not Shakespeare, but it's about the Shakespeare characters. And this is the 5th one of Cressida's poetry pieces called On Time. From ancient seabed I come up for air, swimming from my century to yours. Find water drops have merely brushed the stones. Still women weep when men still go to wars. Unwinnable, pick cities to the bone. Their displaced people sick and in despair, turned back from borders like a beating tide that has no choice but stronger to return. And in this havoc hearts grow thick with hate, turned inward or displayed in proud parades, too often misguided gainst the slaves, and not the unseen hand that holds the chain. Though you have told yourselves that much has changed, the topsoil shifts, the twisted roots remain. But yeah, just like really good poetry pieces. I really enjoyed it, and it's nice to get back into Shakespeare so early on in the year. Yeah, recommend this one too. I also bought this one while in Stratford-upon-Avon in December, so it's nice to just like pick up the book that I've bought, read it, and then it's done. Because I've got a lot. I don't know if you've seen my how many unread books do I have on my shelves video, but there's a lot there, so it's nice to get one over and done with and also really enjoy it as well. Now this one is called Fabulosa by Paul Baker, the story of Polari, Britain's secret gay language. Oh, it was a dense book. I really enjoyed the information that I had. I wish it was kind of presented in a little bit of a different way, and I gave it 3 stars because of that. And it's like, it, you know, like how many pages is this book? 300. I'm trying to, there's loads of like dictionary bits at the back, so I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, 284. So it was just like a bit dense. But it was really interesting, and I'm really happy that I now have that information. I always like to read a non-fiction book with a pen or a pencil in hand, so it's nice that I don't have to, you know, reread the entire book to find the information that I do need and that I do want. So yeah, but it was really interesting, so I do recommend it if you're interested in queer history, especially because a lot of those books are American. It was nice to read about Britain's gay history. Like, that's not always talked about, so I'm really happy about that. Now, the next book on my list is called Last House Before the Mountain, Monika by Monika Helfer. This book got a 1.5 stars. I don't recommend this one. I thought it was going to be fun. It's about, I'll read you the blurb. I don't know why, I might as well. Maria and Joseph live with their children in a valley in westernmost Austria. And Austria is also like where the author's from, so that was cool. When the First World War breaks out and Joseph is drafted into the army, Maria is left to provide for her family alone. Every day is a struggle against starvation, the harsh alpine climate, and the hostile nearby villagers who see Maria as little more than a beautiful temptress out to seduce the men left behind. But when a red-haired stranger arrives in the village, Maria feels happiness seep back into her life, and she faces a choice with consequences that will affect the lives of her family from generations to come. And that to me sounds brilliant, and it's a small book as well, so I was so excited, and it was just like, it was pants. Like, it was boring. It wasn't even boring, it was just confusing. So it also says, based on the award-winning Austrian novelist's own family history. So what she's done is she keeps going back in time and going forwards in time and then going even further forwards in time. And she's like, this 9-year-old you're reading about, he's dead now. And like, just like, it doesn't really like read together, and it's just really confusing. There's no chapters in this book. I don't know why. That's frustrating. But it was just like, it was boring because it wasn't a love story. The man that she's talking about in the blurb shows up in like, it felt like 10 pages and then he was gone. And you didn't even hear about like she gets pregnant with the author's mum. It was just so confusing. It felt like she was trying to tell her own story, but I just honestly think it should have been in a text. Like, it read like it was unfinished, unformed, and like she just wanted to get it out there, you know? And it just didn't feel good because I was bored. I don't know about her, and I don't really care about her because she didn't tell her story well enough. Girl. So yeah, 1.5 stars. Worst read, I hope, of this entire year. Anyway, I also read A Taste of Honey by Shelagh Delaney. A play. It was great to read a play. Really enjoyed it. I come from a background in theatre, and this play is talked about a lot. It wasn't worth the hype. And I think if I just read this play, it would have got more than 2.5 stars, which is what I rated it. Because, like, everyone talks about this play. I feel like it anyway. And I was just like, why? You know, when I was reading it, I was like, I don't see the point. I'm happy it was small. And honestly, I feel like if I saw it on the stage, I'd be like, oh, this is cool. I'm interested and I enjoyed it. But it was fine. It was fine. That's it. It was fine. And I genuinely do think if it wasn't overhyped, I would have enjoyed it a bit more. But it's really, like, nichely overhyped, I guess. So maybe you'll enjoy it if you're not, you know, a massive big play reader, but there are better plays out there. And I might do a video about that soon, or in a few months. But yeah, I read it. The next book I finished was Treasury of Folklore, Woodlands and Forests. I gave this book a 3 stars just because I'm not used to short stories, but I did really enjoy it. So this book was really good at giving me the stories, but also giving me a lot about the lore and the, like, history behind the different folk tales. And it was really interesting, and it's a really beautiful book as well. So this was the book I felt this month that I packed with me in my bag, and I read a few pages every now and then. So it was really nice to have a book like that, which I suppose, like, I'm a person who would read for like an hour and a half straight and then not read again that entire day. Just because I like reading in, like, proper stints, and that's, you know, that's just a personal opinion. It's not good or bad, it just is what it is. But it was nice to have a book that I could, like, you know, read in the doctors, read in, you know, like, the waiting room, read in the breaks of my work and stuff like that. And it was just pretty and a bit cosy, and I learnt things, so that was nice. This is my first 5-star read of this year. It's The Book of Dust, Volume 1, La Belle Sauvage. It was so good, by Phillip Pullman, by the way. I loved it so much. It's a big book, over 500 pages. 570 pages, and I absolutely loved every single page in this book. Oh, it was so good. The chapters were a bit long, so they were about 20 pages each, and every single time I opened it and read a chapter, I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Oh my god, that happened. Oh, he did this. And it was really cool. I really enjoyed the main character, and it was just really cool. It was a cool setting, like, talking about the river overflowing. I'm not going to spoil it, but it was just brilliant. And I remember reading his Dark Materials, the trilogy, when I was younger. So it was so nice to go back to this world, because I think this is my favourite fictional world, because it's very much like ours, but then you have demons, which are little animals, not usually little, like just animals, that are your soul, but in, like, personification, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. But it's so cool. I recommend looking into Philip Pullman's work if you haven't already. He's a classic for a reason, and it was really, really good. Those are the books that I have read. What I'm currently reading is a really, really good book called Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. The amount of times I've had this on my shelf and I've read half of it, or, like, 25% of it, and just not got through it. And it's not because I didn't enjoy it, it just didn't feel like the right time. This is the right time. I've read this much so far. I'm on page 198. And I hope to finish it either today or tomorrow. I think that would be good. I just love it. It's so good, and these characters are really interesting. And it's got a trans main character, who's also a Latino, and it was just really, really cool. And the, like, culture in this book, like, Aiden Thomas himself is, I believe he is, oh, I believe I'm using the wrong pronouns, I'm sorry, Aiden, Thomas, they use they, them pronouns from what I can tell from the blurb. The actor, the thing, the biography. I was gonna say actors thing, so I'm used to that. But they are Latino themselves, I believe, and they're trans. So it was just really cool to read a story that came from their heart, I guess. It feels like that. And it's beautiful, and I really loved it. I'm loving it. I hope, fingers crossed, it'll be another 5-star read. It might be 4 stars, but we'll see. It's really, really good. The last book that I'm currently reading and hope to finish within next week, which will take us up to the 1st of February, which is the Sunday, is Up the Youth Club, Illuminating a Hidden History by Emma Warren. Britain's a book about British history, but really specific and niche about youth clubs. And it's really, really cool. I'm really enjoying it. It's just a little bit dense, just a tiny bit dense, but I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm learning a lot, and it's really cool. I just kind of wish that it wasn't so specific every time. So each chapter is usually about one specific youth club, and I think I would have rather it have been, less about the history, I guess, which is, it says on the cover what it is. So they're doing what they have been told to do. But I wish it was more about the practices and why those practices are in place because of various history points. But it's really interesting, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm happy I'm reading it. I think I got this book in October last year, so yeah, not too long on the TBR shelf, which is nice. So that is it. That is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is my 10 books of January 2026. I feel like I've done so well at the start of this year, and I'm really excited to read more in February and in March. Now, I just wanted to go into a few things that I thought about my reading so far. I'm actually really happy that the star ratings are very, very varied, because it's meaning that I'm like getting out of my comfort zone a bit and reading stuff that I don't usually read and just finding out what works for me, and that's cool. I also know that it's not very diverse, my reading for this month, oh my god, and I want to change that in February and going on. So watch this space for my February TBR video. But I had fun, honestly. It's been really nice to read and set a practice for myself, because one of my goals for this year is not just to read books, but to read consistently. So I think every single day this year, I've either woken up or gone to bed with an hour or more of reading under my belt. Sorry, I knocked you then. And that's really cool, and I'm just setting a habit, and that's awesome. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna post a video about my February TBR, and I'm gonna film it now, I think, because I'm really excited about it. So I might be in the exact same clothes, but also look at my beautiful fox necklace. How cool is that? I hope you have a really good week, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been like just a bit chill, and like, you know, it's one of those, isn't it? You're not really gonna get much out of it, and like, but you're gonna know what I've read. And that's sometimes people like reading that kind of thing. I don't really like watching that kind of thing, but I want to do like booktube. I'm really enjoying talking and learning more about books for the audience that watches me, and just for my own personal enjoyment. I'm finding it really, really fun. So I wanted to do a video like this. Yeah, and then I'll film a February TBR video, and that will also have information about the reading challenges that I'm doing this year, as that is how I feel like I've read a lot of books. So I think I'm currently doing 9 reading challenges, which is just like awesome. I'm really enjoying that. And also, I'm on Storygraph, and I might make a video about that later on. But Storygraph's like an app for logging the books that you have and whatnot. And you have a choice to put in a reading, like how many books you want to read within the year. And I put 6 because my plan is to, I've put 6, I've nearly read 10, so I'll be at 10 books. And then I'm going to move this marker of 6 books of what I want to read to 12, or like I might do like 16, like every month I want to read at least 6 books. I know that's a lot and I might not be able to do it, but I think it'll be cool to constantly be upgrading that marker. So say if, yeah, I think I'll put it at 16 because that's, you know, if I finish 10, then that's 6 books in Feb. But if I read 6 books in Feb, I'll just move it up 6. I don't know, I won't be messing about with it too much. It'll just be 6 books, no matter if I finish 10 books or 6 or even 4. Like, I'll just be moving it up slowly and steadily so I can see my growth and not just be worried about the end product or like goal. Consistency is what I'm interested in this year. So yeah, have a great day. I'll see you again very, very shortly, and thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.